Sorry about that, man. It's one of the worst times. One of the worst times to do a live stream for me. But this isn't a very important topic that we need to go over because this dude is going through the same thing I went through, like at least 20 some years ago. Hell, 20 years ago at this point. But man, you have got to stop being that guy, man. For real, you gotta stop being that guy. Where I already had a reputation with the family of not really messing with people, but most of the people who I tried this with were like childhood friends. And we're not even talking about dudes who sold dope. We're not even talking about dudes who, like there's like plenty of people who I correspond with who got like life sentences and shit. Like when we was in high school, that I still correspond with off the dumb shit that they was doing. And that's how Mississippi was, man. They gave your ass a life sentence for fucking anything. They gave motherfuckers 20 years for stealing bubble gum out of Walmart. Like that's the type of place, Mississippi was, man. What's going on? Vanna Black, Marcus Muir, thanks for the $5 super chat. Ike, what's going on? But you gotta stop being that dude, man. You gotta stop it, and you gotta stop it right away. Now, me, I had a threshold. I had to know you. I, and I had to verify parts of the story. And a lot of people don't understand that I seen other people who was doing this, but they was having a hell of a lot more problems than I were. Because, most of the people who I was trying to help came from the South all the way to the West. So you have to understand that people couldn't just readily get out and go get a job. Like there ain't no places in Mississippi that has like open interviews where you could just walk in and get a position and work. Nah, man, like you really had to know somebody. It doesn't matter whether it was Budweiser. It doesn't matter whether it was Fruit of the Loom. It doesn't matter whether it was Balasik Pickle. It doesn't matter whether it was any of those companies. You had to know somebody. And if you didn't know anybody, you know, um, Dollar General, Dollar Tree, uh, Family Dollar, even Kroger, Walmart. Dude, if you didn't know nobody, you didn't get a job. That's how it was. Come on, Belgino. So it's like what I started to realize is when they wanted to go from one situation where there was no jobs to another place where there were jobs at, the first thing that would come out of their mouth was, "Well, man, well, you know what? I'm looking to start over, and blah blah blah. I got my stuff. They have the I'm on the verge of getting my stuff together conversation with you. Yeah, you're looking out for them. They know that you're a good person. They know you got your stuff together. They actually think that being surrounded by better people is actually going to make them do better for themselves when they already have better people within the system in the situation that they were in, right where they're at, but they wanted to move all the way away from it. Look, man, you're going to find this stuff out the hard way. Listen to the story of why they're trying to leave the situation where they're leaving. I understand. Rural Mississippi, very different than it is in actual big city Colorado. You know, we got a ton of infrastructure. You can get anywhere in the city with a couple of dollars. You can buy a bus pass. You can pretty much get everywhere in the city. It doesn't matter whether you're in Aurora or Denver or Centennial or even Parker. Things go everywhere. And you can get places very fast. And people are not used to that type of ability to be able to move around the city at such a high speed, especially with like the light rail. Come on, man. Bro, you could be in Aurora and you could be all the way downtown at a Rockies game or a Broncos game in little or no time, less than 45 minutes. So when you run into these people who need help, you got to listen to the story of what burning building that they leaving and why. Cause me, I was never big on taking in the actual unreformed criminal and all that kind of stuff. Most of the stuff I did was with people who, like I said, they didn't have no criminal record, but they still had the same problems that the people who did. And the reason why you listen to the story of what they're leaving and why they're leaving it is simply because you need to make sure that the story is not reformulating itself in a new environment itself. That's one of the big reasons why you pay attention and you make sure that this stuff isn't happening under your watch. Like if a person said, "Oh man, I had baby mama drama and all this kind of stuff," and they bring their ass out there and they already talking to a fat bitch with kids, and next thing you know, he already done knocked her the fuck up within 2 weeks of being there. He just resurrected the same problems that he had in a different environment, in a quote unquote better environment. But see, you got to be able to sniff this shit out, man. And you got to be able to have these people on a plan of action. I mean, I helped probably far too many people, but I had these people on a regimented path where they was in and out of there in less than a month and a half. Because in a month and a half, you know a hell of a lot about motherfuckers, especially after a week of them being in a new situation. Me, I was in an apartment at the time, especially when I first got out there. Like once I got myself a crib, I didn't do that shit no more. But before I actually got me a place, living in apartments. I'm working and going to school all the time, so I was never really home all that much. And so, a person is just not used to having that kind of time alone to themselves when you bring their ass over. They're not used to having all that kind of time alone, man. And they go crazy with their time alone is because in Colorado, your ass got to work. That's what it is. Rent is expensive as fuck. It's very nice out here. You're not gonna be able to just be this sit around outside the apartment type dude, especially not in Colorado. You're not gonna be able to do that shit. But what they wanted is they wanted to be around people overall who didn't know their track record. That's what it was. Like these people didn't have a criminal record, but they did do all the same dumbass shit that people who did have a criminal record do. They still had the wrong type of associations that they try to flip into other associations. That's the same type of stuff that people did if they didn't have their stuff together. So they would move to a new situation and they would turn around and rebuild the old system that they left in a new place. I mean, like a perfect example, like there was a dude who came up or across, not really up, northwest, I guess you can call that up. All right, he came there. He was in town and the dude got there. He was a welder in Mississippi making like minimum wage. He came to Colorado was making like $35 an hour. Like way more money than I was making. I was happy as fuck for the dude. You know what he did with the money? The first thing he did with the money was got him a child support vehicle, you know, a vehicle on 20s, spinners, and all this kind of shit to attract all the same problems that he claimed that he didn't want it. All the same problems from back at home that he knew that didn't net anybody any type of resolve. This is what he did. And we're not talking about no Pookie Ray Ray dude. We're talking about dude with very low levels of appreciation in society. And this is a woman based construct, by the way. I blame all women for this. You always dare men whenever they they need you or they want you. But at the end of the day, this person didn't even know how to evaluate character. And here's the thing: he didn't have experience to evaluate character because he was around 100% bad options down there in rural Mississippi. 200-pound pounders, punking niggas, and just that's what he's used to. So being abused in a relationship and being fully taken advantage of in a relationship, being fully unappreciated in a relationship is something that is normal to him. Normal to him. Normal. So, and this is when I knew that when I started bringing these people up here, that I need to stop introducing them to friends of mine. Because, there was a person, he came up, another person, he came up. We was having a get together over at the place, one of the last ones, because I don't have get togethers at the place where I'm at, especially when I bring somebody in town. So I had to get together, right? He got with this girl. She was a widower, like her husband had died in like the Iraq War. That was a real fucked up situation. You know, Pretty decent motherfucking human being, man. And this dude got with the girl, and he did all the same goofy ass shit that he would do with a normal 200-pound buffarillo, man. Crazy shit. And this girl was trying to make it work like a motherfucker because she just left a horrific and fucked up situation, and she just wanted a steady motherfucker. And you know what? Women who want steady fucking men, you know what they go after? That's right. They go after the beach fucking whale. They go after the wounded fucking bird. And he was one of them type of motherfuckers. A ton of potential, pretty decent dude, but once you gave him access to pussy, he did the same goofy ass shit that any one of them hood niggas would do to any other one. This is what the fuck happened. And then once you start listening to the fucking story, sorry man, this train's beeping. Shit, I'm in Cleveland. Hold on a second. So it's like this is why you gotta listen to the story, man. Listen to the story of what this dude left. Because once you start seeing that story start to reformulate itself, you're gonna find out first and foremost with the associations. Because there ain't no way that you come into a new situation and you always find home residency within the goddamn hood or around fuck niggas. Any person that you bring inside your household and the first motherfuckers who they quote unquote end up hanging around in your community is motherfuckers who you would never have around your house, red flag, bruh. Red flag. Because if those people ain't doing shit and they ain't nothing but schemers and dreamers waiting for their big chance to, chop somebody up into pieces, or a schemer waiting for someone to fall off the truck so that way they could pick it up and try to sell it. This is what you're dealing with. You got to pay attention to the story, man. And it took me about 5 or 6 times to do that shit, especially after my brothers came up. A couple of them came up and they washed out the fucking, what I'm saying, the Denver Metro experience like most other people do. That's when you start to realize, damn, oh, that's a pattern here. There is a pattern here. Oh, the associations are the same. Oh, the Buffarillo shit's the same. Oh, word. This dude doing all the same shit he was doing back at home. That dude didn't come up here to get his shit together. That dude came up here to redo his same system of bullshit around people who don't really know him all that well. And here's the other thing. They know who to ask for specific types of help. They know that shit. They know who to go after and who not to go after. Because if you paid attention to the track record of the shit that they actually leaving, you'd actually hear the stories. You actually hear the stories about how this dude had messed up XYZ situation. How this person took somebody's car and kept it for 3 or 4 months, left, went out of town on some dumb shit. You would be able to hear this shit. You would be able to know that this stuff is happening. But this is why the decent black man is the far most unappreciated person in America. Not just black America, but America, period. because you waste the majority of your time trying to save motherfuckers who shouldn't be even tried to be saved. But see, that's the actual thing. You're not even taught or even socialized into the specific fact or point that, hey man, once you got your shit together, it's time for you to stay on 20. If this is blackjack, yeah man, you stay on 20. You don't take a hit while your ass is on 20. If your ass is on 20, you did it right. Don't try to turn around and do this stuff another way. It don't work like that, man. Yeah, good. Thank you for telling us. I had the same issue with my cousin in Louisiana. Tried to send him money so he could go back and forth to welding school. He bought a goddamn chain. He could have made his own chains and made. Yes! This is the exact shit I'm talking about, man. The exact fucking bullshit I'm talking about. But what they do is, and I've only seen this shit happen or be successful one out of probably the 20 times that I did it over a 10-year period. One time. One time. Because that dude came up here, he was on a mission, man. That dude came up here, like the one time that I did see it done right, one, he had zero experience with the women down there in Mississippi. So when he came up here around these thin, fine ass mother, man, that dude was snatched up in a heartbeat. Snatched up in a fucking heartbeat. And guess what? He didn't fuck it up. He knew what the chances were. He went out and got him a job. He went out and went to school like he was supposed to. He did everything that he was supposed to. It still ended up not working out because the girl got sick and died. But he knew what was at stake. This dude walked up here. He walked across the street to the Burger King. Got a job right away. Got a job right away. Next thing you know, he was in welding. Went from welding to HVAC. Went from HVAC, turned that shit into a 1099 situation. Helped him out do all this shit the entire time. Yeah. People who actually want and need the help, they hit the ground running, boss. They're not trying to sit around for 2 and 3 weeks and shit, waiting on what the fuck they need to do. Nah, man. Once you're around actual opportunity, you take your ass out there and you fucking get it cracking, man. That's the thing, man. There's no such thing as that. I just traveled halfway across the country. I just got here to a new environment. The only thing I need to do is just sit here and chill out right now. Nah, man. You done brought the wrong person around, bro. You done brought the wrong person around, man. Because see, while you at work, you don't know what this dude's get his ass into. You don't know. You have no idea what this dude is doing. You have no idea who's inside your house and all this other shit. Dude, like I had the same problem to the point to where this dude would have people in my house or my apartment stealing my shit and then wearing my fucking clothes all over the fucking neighborhood. Clothes that I fucking bought, shit that I brought back from Germany or Italy or some shit. I'm seeing this motherfucker walk around with a fucking Terminator shirt on. Bruh, they don't sell Terminator and Crystal Vices in the fucking United States. Motherfucker just sitting here just all up in my face with my fucking shit on, man. Who gave it to him? He gave it to him. Unbelievable. Yes. And this is the type of shit that motherfuckers go through when they help people out, man. Dude, couple times I come home from work. It's a gang of niggas over, you know what I'm saying, having that opening scene to Minister Society in the fucking living room. Like, man, who the fuck are all these niggas and why y'all gambling in the fucking living room? What the fuck is this shit? Next thing you know, the motherfuckers leave and go somewhere. Next thing you know, I got random motherfuckers popping up at the house and shit. Man, what the fuck is this? No, this motherfucker don't live here. This ain't a shit. But see, that's the type of shit you go through, man. That's the type of shit you go through when you give people the wrong type of opportunity, man. And like I said, of all the times I've done this shit, it only really worked out one or two times. But those people hit the ground running. And they always hit the ground running. Yeah, man. Bro, I've been through it, man. Hold on a second. That's what it was, man. And then I started getting smarter on how I process these niggas. So what I did is, all right, man, you're gonna come out here. All right, boom. You're gonna be out here. So I'm gonna drop your ass off at this spot right here. Okay, all right, man. So you're gonna come here. You're gonna get this forklift driver training because, like, the Denver metro area, the city and county of Denver, they have a really good workforce program where they actually have free training to give to you because that's the shit we organize for as veterans in the area, as being one of the areas of like the highest concentration of veterans, especially homeless ones in the country. Yeah, those employers wanted stable motherfuckers. I don't know why they went out to veterans. Those are some of the most unstable motherfuckers known to mankind, but that's what it was. What you do is I brought people out here, stuck their face right in the opportunity, and you seen exactly what some people did with it. Yeah, came out here. All right, man. All right, man. You got forklift driver training. I come out here. All right, man. You have a month bus pass. This month is the yellow. Next month is the red. You get to buy the 90-day shits. Before they had the light rail, everything. So you can go anywhere in the fucking city, right? They come out here. Oh man, I'm just tired, man. I'm tired, man. I just got out here, man. Man, I want to have fun too. What? What? You're tired? What? You want some time off? What? What? Bro, not lying, man. This is how shit was. This is how the shit was, man. They didn't want the opportunity. They wanted new people to fuck over. That's what actually they wanted. At the end of the day, that's exactly what they wanted. New people who didn't know, have any experience with, or understand their track record to go fuck that shit up. That's what they wanted. I know it, man. That's why I fought for job training. I don't give a fuck about them people being ahead of most of these dumbass motherfuckers who don't want to take advantage of American society, and the only thing they want to do is sit around, entertain, and troll. Fuck them. Yeah, that's what it is. But see, you gotta stop being that guy who help people. You gotta stop being that guy. All that focus that you putting on all these other people can be putting on you, increasing your level and skill in your current trade and other stuff, man. You can't be that guy. I was that guy. I'm not gonna lie. I was that guy. And the problem was is that I wasn't one of these sit around the house ass motherfuckers. I was out there going to get it. That's what I was doing. If I wasn't doing this, I was doing that. If I wasn't doing this, I was doing that. All above board shit above the table. But that's what I was doing. And once you around people who don't want to do shit, and you see that they don't want to move forward for themselves, the only thing they want to do is that they want people to take pity on them. They want people to come around. Oh man, wounded bird. Oh man, they're a little. They're there, little son. They're there, man. No, it's not a big deal, man. No, we still got it. You know, you like, man. The worst thing you can do is to let somebody continuously eat who don't know how to produce. I'm just telling you, like, man. I'm just saying, man. Out of the 20 sometimes I did it, I only seen it work one way. And this dude, the only thing he needed was access to opportunity. He didn't need shit else. That's the only thing he needed. But that's what it was. If you really want to help these people, help them with information. That's how you really help them, man. You really help them. You really help them by showing them real life, showing them real life, and showing them how things work. That's the only thing you can help them with. Because a lot of these people have a lot of unresolved issues and stuff when you bring them around, man, and you can't bring them around opportunity because they have this hustler's mind state nonsense when it comes to stuff. These be the first people trying to set your ass up, man. That's why when I talk about the productive men, that's the only thing I fuck with outside of YouTube. I really can't mess with nobody who ain't got their shit together or none of that stuff. I have no room for entertainment in the personal life. None. I come from a culture of work, and that's the way that we gonna keep it. But see, a lot of people come from the culture of second and third and fourth and fifth chances when they don't deserve the shit. And you can't be the person who give these people multiple chances and opportunities that they're not worth. Me, I found a great way of processing these people by putting their face right into the opportunity right away, you know? And even that shit didn't work most of the time. However, you gotta stop being that guy, man. If you spent your whole life not making mistakes, you don't owe it to everybody else for them to make mistakes on your watch. Because that's what it was. And I just looked at it from my standpoint of failure. Other people, mostly women, had the standpoint of having people come out messing up their credit, had other people come out messing up their kids' credit, other people coming out doing all types of stuff. But that's what happens when you have your stuff together. And when you have your stuff together, people really assume that okay, since this dude has his stuff together, he could take a downfall right now. He need to be humbled right now. And some of these you think are decent people, they send the most messed up people for you to help, for you to do this wounded bird nonsense with. You gotta stop being that guy, man. You gotta stop being that guy, man. Listen, I want to help the people who actually deserve it, not the people who need it. Because there's a lot of people who need help, but then there's a level of people who deserve help. You have to develop a culture of people who deserve help, deserve it. Yeah, but that's what we are, man. Don't be that guy. You can't have such an open door policy to the point to where you don't even care about your own well-being. No, you don't have a lot of things to be given away, man, because a lot of these people have a level of entitlement. They feel like they're entitled to the chances, especially the more they mess up the previous chances that they've been given by all these other people in the situation. Sometimes it's okay for people to starve and die, man. I'm sorry. That's the way it is. It's okay for them to go through that stuff on a permanent basis and to keep going through it. It's okay, man. Because what we do is we personally raise weak men who get caught up in this type of nonsense over and over again. You gotta stop being that guy. You gotta start creating a culture like, look, man, you're 50 something years old. I don't know why you coming to me or around me for help trying to get your shit off the ground. Nah, man, I'm good, bro. I'm good. And they know how to prey on younger people and shit. They always prey on the best of us, man. They never go after the worst because they know, one, they would never even mess with them like that. And number two, they know that they wouldn't get no chances around those type of people, man. But see, you got to develop this stuff on your own. There is nothing worthwhile of having 20 or 30 stories of failed people who you tried to help. And there's a couple of times where I would go and leave town. I come back to a destroyed environment based on leaving this dude alone with his own faculties and tons of shit. I got to understand, man, that we can't keep doing this. Nobody else is really going through this. The burden of proof is the track record. And what happens when you put them next to information. This is why you can't be that guy, man. I'm not telling you this stuff to be harsh on people. I'm telling you this stuff to save yourself. Because the moment you start getting your stuff together, they're going to come around, man. They can sniff out the people who's going to help them out with stuff over and over again, repeatedly. I got brothers like this. Those who don't deserve an extra shot get plenty of them. Why? They out here repeatedly looking for people to consume. And you can't be that type of guy, man. You can't be the guy who helped. You got to be the guy who's going to be as silent as most of these people also are. It's time for these people to start skipping some meals, man. It's time. Because the moment you let a person hit rock bottom, it's gone. Yeah, that's a name I ain't seen nowhere in a while. Where you been at? Thought you fell off the face of the planet. Fuck around, got married or some shit. What's going on? Yeah, but that's what it is, man. And right now, it's just like the COVID shit, this is something that people need to hear. Because a lot of people are realizing that being the dude that hang out and hang around and do all that stupid shit, hey man, like that stuff ain't net no profits, man. You don't get paid to hang out no more, man. Yeah, it's horrific. You just don't need to be doing this stuff, man. It doesn't net a good outcome. That time that you're wasting and spending on other people, dude, you can easily put this stuff into yourself. Yeah, that's what it is. But see, nobody ever tells you not to do this stuff. Everybody kind of silently endorses you doing these type of things within the environment itself. It's crazy, man. Like I used to see these dudes. Like I had like way older cousins, like who's 50 or probably damn near 60 at this point. Probably damn near 60 at this point. Know who was on the same shit? No, you would see them down there in the South End. You would see them in Indianola, Greenwood, or Cleveland, and they around doing the same shit around the same family members. The same exact stupid shit. Same begging, braggadocio motherfucker. Same dude who want to, you know what I'm saying, have their whole life verified through sexual access because they don't produce shit. Yeah, the same type of dudes. But, dude, this is 2021, man. No, we can't be on this old shit forever. We got to be out here to come out here and compete like everybody else. And how you compete like everybody else is you have to let people suffer the consequences like everybody else. You can't keep doing this, man. You cannot keep doing this. Because if you do, you ain't gonna have no time for yourself. So is that what you want? To not really have time for yourself? To spend your life being an eternal fixer for people who don't respect any of the opportunities that they get? And it's not like these people had like bad upbringings and shit. I found out that over time, the people who were raised in the best environments, I'm talking about like most of my aunts and uncles were like either factory workers or retired truck drivers or military people. And the actual women, like my aunts and shit, were like nurses and shit. Pretty normal, pretty standard for the family. Like that's what they did, right? These are the people who need the most help. The people who grew up in way better environments than other people had a chance to be around. Those were the people who need the most help. That shit was crazy. I'm like, hold on a second. And your mama XYZ now? How you need help? You didn't grow up around projects and none of that shit. Y'all got up out of Mississippi a long time ago. How did you end up fucking up and failing, man? Yeah, man, but that's what it was, though. That's exactly what it was. A lot of these dudes grew up in these middle class ass circumstances, end up with these bottom barrel ass results, man. Those are the dudes who need the most help. Their parents was out there working. They took that as an aside to be out here chilling, and their job was to be, internet alpha, just go get the women, and just, productivity is somebody else's job, clearly not theirs. Yeah, you got to know the story, folks. So that way, if you see the story kind of rebuilding itself right in your face, you can step. But that's where you got to be, man. Like, bro, listen, man. They consistently have their age of selfishness. Consistently have their age of selfishness. Consistently. You got to have your age of selfishness too, man. You got to have your time period to where you ain't got time for this stuff either. You got to have that. You see, what it is that people want the struggle to be so real to you to where you never find a time and an opportunity for peace at no point in your life, and you can't live your life like that, man. But that's what it is. You got to stop falling for it, man. Because this stuff is a lifestyle for people, man. It is a lifestyle. Fucking up is a lifestyle. Leaving a burning building is a lifestyle. Messing up things, messing up things to the point to where you gotta leave them alone is a lifestyle. Like most of these people that had a ton of opportunities. Dude, I can name about 5 or 6 people right now who had a ton of opportunity to get their shit together. A ton. And it still never happened. Why it never happened? Because they didn't want it to happen. They wanted it easy. And when they messed up that easy mode game, they just moved on to another game on easy mode. Messed that up. You see, you have to look at these dudes like a memory card from a video game, man. Like, all right, man, so how many things did you left uncompleted that you need to start over on my game save? Like, well, what's going on with that? That's how you got to be. That's how you got to be, man. That's how you got to be. Because here's the thing. When those people, the same people who you help out, once they get their shit together, dude, they ain't thinking about nobody else. They ain't got no room for nobody else. Like, those people know what's at stake, though. They know what's at stake. They know what a good situation is. They know how much they can get out of it. They know what the age of turnaround for you to expect them to be a move or lose thing. They know this stuff. Why? Perpetual users. Yeah, that's people who needed help. I needed help. I was homeless twice. Trust me. I've been around people who had real problems, and I've been around people who needed real help. And I did not want to be in any one of them situations that those people were in. But these people ain't got no real problems, man. It's just that they haven't hit truly rock bottom like they need to. And the problem is that we want to create weak men to stagnate the entire what is perceived as the collective. So that way we don't allow things to rise too fast to where a certain type of man don't perceive his way to be able to run things. Some mama's cooking bullshit. Because that's the type of dumb shit that people want to see. They want to see people who are not invested win. They want to see people who are not part of a particular process win. That's what they want to see. But you guys got to be able to be smarter in your time. I'm telling you, man, I've already been through this shit. I've already been through most of this stuff that you're going through. And it only gets worse the moment you have your shit together. You, you can't go out and get a nice fucking car and start bringing this shit around people during holidays and shit, man. You can't do no shit like that. Because you give people the wrong idea. When people see successful black man in some of these families, they think of a guy who needs to be taken down a peg, a dude who needs to be introduced into some damn bullshit to really mess his life up. That's what they actually see. because this type of dude isn't really appreciated all that much in American society. Period. Doesn't matter whether you're black or white. You know, people just look at things to where, oh man, we could divide that up XYZ type of way. You gotta stop being that guy, man. And you can stop being that guy by learning how to evaluate character, the path, and the track record. You got to be that guy who knows how to evaluate that stuff because they evaluating you. They're evaluating you to the point to where they know exactly how much they can get out of you, how many weeks that they can keep draining you of your goodness, how many weeks that they can test the waters with you, how many weeks that they can push the boundaries on you, how many weeks that they can get away with these same lame ass excuses. Okay, I'm gonna use this excuse for this level of weeks, and then I'm gonna use this excuse for this level of weeks, and then I'm just gonna go to all these job interviews and just claim I ain't getting a job. One of these dudes I brought up, this company called him 6 times for a guaranteed job, and he did everything else in the world except for show up to the interview. I think they rescheduled the interview like 2 or 3 times. He still didn't go. Still was telling me the BS notion about what type of problems that he had, but wasn't showing up to the interview to get a job. That was crazy. No, of course not. They would never let their kids know about Robert L. Smith. Are you crazy? To let their kids know about a man that they can't get access to and drain resources out of? They're not going to do that. This is why everybody wants to be the cool uncle and nobody wants to be the actual dude who runs stuff. Because the cool uncle has nothing really at stake or involved with things. I'm serious, man. So what you got to do, man, is you just got to be more serious about your time and who you're wasting on. Because it is a waste, by the way. You are wasting your time on these people. You have to understand the actual process of what it takes to bring somebody out of that situation to where you are. But don't ever use it. You use it on people who got potential. You don't use it on people because you can use it. Because if we keep culturally setting the standard to where the people who need the most help, but the least type of appreciation get the most help, what are we actually doing here? What are we actually doing here? And I keep telling you, man, this stuff is just going to get worse and worse and worse and worse and worse until you have nothing else to give it all. And you know what happens whenever you used to be the go to guy and you're no longer the go to guy at this point in time? You know what they say to you? Who hurt you? Well, you can't be that way with everybody. You think you all that because you got XYZ. That's what they do. They immediately go at the shaming tactics and the self esteem knockdown. They immediately go to that. But see, you just gotta be smarter than that, man. The only thing you got to do is be not invested, like they're not invested in success. You got to be not invested either. You got to be invested in your own stuff. You got to pass this shit down to your kids right away. You can't keep doing this because these are the people who was having all the kids, man. The people who didn't really need the help. The people who needed to starve were the one who went out here and packed these communities full of kids. That's what it is. You see, nobody really tells you this shit. Why? Because they're trying to make sure that you're sized up to be a nice hot meal for somebody so that way they can benefit off the shit. You can't live your life like that, man. You have to know what it feels like to cross the finish line and to not have any of these problems. You got to create that kind of culture. That's the type of culture you got to create. We making having your shit together and leaving people the hell alone something that's very rare. Not having your shit together is actually the way things work. What's going on, Justin March? What's going on, Mr. Imperfection Gaming Channel? Iman Perry, Goshen, Nico, Ref Run. But that's where we at, man. That's where we at. And man, you only have a certain period of time to take productivity seriously. And the longer those people make it and survive within the environment without productivity, which is the preeminence of being a man, by the way, the harder it becomes for them to actually conform to society. The Glorious One, thank for the $2 super sticker. Justin Marsh for the $5 super sticker. But that's where we at, man. You got to raise the level of the conversation so that way they can't compete with it. Because here's the thing. Those people who are 50 something years old and damn near 60 something years old in my family, they were doing the same exact shit when I was in grade school. Same exact shit. Sitting around, smoking weed, playing video games, talking about bitches, getting bitches pregnant, moving to another city, doing the same shit over and over again. Those people became a mainstay, man, and you got to erase them the good old fashioned way. This stuff was done on a one on one basis. It can be erased on a one on one basis. These dudes who want to make a career out of this fucking domestic person who's not interested in them when they can clearly move on to other stuff, dude, listen, man, you're not going to be able to say those people. There's a lot of people who want to be the voice of the everyday problems that we go through, but they don't want to be the voice of the everyday solution that is life lived by leaving these problems alone. That's where I'm at with it. I'm not trying to pass these problems down to another generation. I'm not trying to do that because giving them the information right now with the access to the skills and abilities that they have right now, these dudes can already be on the path to being productive by 20, in their early 20s. They can be on the road to doing way better than people who are 30 or 40 and 50 and 60-year old within the same environment. I know I've seen it. Hold on a second. But that's where we are, man. I have already been through this stuff, man, and it has not made me a better person by doing so. I've already been through this stuff, man. It did not make me appreciate this shit more. It made me kind of feel like, man, I wasted a lot of my time fucking with the wrong people. I wasted a lot of time teaming up with the wrong people. Wasted a lot of time trying to do business with the wrong people. I had the ability to know how to judge character. I just deliberately didn't do it. Thanks for that, Book of Rounds. Strong men is what's gonna get us out of this, man. Weak men got us here. Strong men is gonna get us up out of here. And the strong men cannot be helping weak ass men, dude. Can't be doing that. There's too many people who is not interested in the process itself who want to benefit from it. And thanks to this system and society, they've been pretty much able to survive off of it. You got to stop being that guy, man. Take it from a guy who was that guy for a while, and I became so good at being that guy. I just learned how to quickly process these motherfuckers in and out of things. What's going on, Ray Hammer? What's going on, LR? That's what it is. Showing my nephew and cousin, these books. I'm like, hey man, you can make a plenty of money here. You just got to have the ability to not spend it on dumbass shit and attract a whole bunch of problems. Because that's the thing, man. People spend the money to attract the problems that they claim they don't want. The moment they start doing good, they put on the child support uniform to attract the very people who don't mess with them like that. Maybe you have it improperly. Maybe you got it backwards. You should judge yourself on how much of this stuff you stay away from, not how much of this stuff you engage in without being burned. Some of this stuff need to be left as an academic lesson. It's time for you to leave this stuff alone, man. It's time for you to stop being that guy. I understand. You know what? It's kind of hard to find people to hang around within this quote unquote environment if you got your shit together. You got to be the dude on the wall who really can't talk about anything because everything that you talk about is so far out of the purview of the dumb shit that these people actually think about and act on a daily basis that you don't even feel whole around these people. It's time for you to go find other stuff to do, man. I tell you what, as soon as I start putting myself in different situations and start going to these conferences and shit that had nothing to do with what I wanted to, all right, Nama, you have a nice one. That's what it was. They want to pass the buck to decent people, man. You gotta stop doing that. I seen that shit with my grandmother, my grandfather, grandmother on my mother's side. I seen this shit. I seen it over and over and over again. All this stuff that we going through now, I seen it when I was coming up. I seen the same shit. The same hustling, like back then in Mississippi. You used to call them slick motherfuckers, man. Slick motherfuckers. Yeah, the same slick motherfuckers, man. Same ones. Always need stuff, always need a handout, always need your connections, always do all this stuff. And you know what they did? They destroyed it every single time in every single facet because they was there to consume. You were there to build, they were there to consume. Not assist, not upkeep, consume. You were the construction company building up the actual resources, and they were the demolition company coming in to tear it down in seconds. You can't stop people that are on an unstoppable path of destruction, man. What's going on, MGTV? But that's where we are. And the problem is that most people can't teach from this stuff is because they're actually trying to get paid by the broken system. The broken system is what they want to get paid off of. Now that they understand how things work, they don't want to stop the system from existing. They want to be a part of the system by existing within it. They just want to be the top-notch guy in a broken system. You got to stop being that guy, man. You got to stop being that unindicted co-conspirator. You got to stop being that aid and abetter. You got to stop being that person who's harboring a fugitive from reality. That's what these people are. Fugitives from reality. escaping one situation, they find out another situation and another situation. You always meet these people at Thanksgiving and Christmas or even the 4th of July. I know I do. They always want to see the people who's doing well. All of a sudden, hey, where do you live at? Oh, could XYZ come stay with you? No, I ain't got no room for that shit. No, you don't really quite say it like that, but you got to tell them no. You got to understand for the life of you, man, that you ain't got time for this, boss. Your time is to be spent on you, your kids, the things you create, and your own household. Don't believe this community minded shit. Your first community that you need to be building is your own household. And if you didn't do the household right, I don't want to hear shit about what you're trying to help outside of the household. But this is where we are. And we're here because the good men did nothing. That's how we got here. The good men did nothing. The good men wanted peace. The bad people wanted war, a consistent war that they waged with their genitals against the entire environment itself. Now the whole damn construct represents who and what they are. We got outnumbered. A deliberate procreation of problems, whether it's biological or sociological or psychological in most cases. There's so many men out there who want to fight ineffectively that it's a damn shame. But this is where we are, man. This is where we are. And you don't deserve to be here. And this shit is not your responsibility. You know what your responsibility is? Making the most out of this environment. That's what your actual responsibility is. But the reason why most people don't tell you about your actual responsibilities and what they are, and the reason why you never socialize into them, is because they want to keep you part of you in fried green tomato status. So that way one of these people can come in and come pick your ass off later before you mature in certain areas. This is why a lot of these people don't really mature in all areas all the time. They want to leave you green in certain spots. And you just got to stop being that guy. You got to stop being that guy. It's okay to stop being that guy. Because I know one thing for certain, they are never going to be that guy. Because they're never going to hit rock bottom in a place where most people are happy at the bottom. You got to get this. This channel and this direction is about moving past these problems, not trying to feed you into these problems for somebody else's benefit. So I want to thank you guys for coming through on the Man of Tomorrow. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. If you guys want to go forward with more information on how to really kick this stuff into high gear, patreon.com/Man of Tomorrow. It's not a requirement. You can just listen to this stuff, but I really don't promote it all that much. But for the people who are really serious about moving forward, that's where more of the information's at. Remember, you got here about process. You can get out of the stuff about process too. So I know most of you guys get paid today. Make sure you go invest in yourself rather than somebody else's dreams. Thank you so much. You guys have a really nice day. Thanks for all the people who are super chat. And this stuff is still going to be, like Lawrence Guy said, hashtag men first. Doesn't mean we hate women. It does mean that we need to get our shit together though, despite the women. Thank you so much for listening, and you guys have a really great morning and the rest of the weekend.